idea about the kind of interaction which took place between him and the Indian foreign minister? Huh? They shook hands and...
I think
that's what he saw.
Yeah,
but
I think
beyond that...
But I think it was a dinner usme to like informal chat to everyone was having on the table.
So were they seated in the same... next to each other or on the same table?
The main guests were on the same table.
Okay.
Yeah. So
PM Sharif and the other delegates.
I mean,
I think, when we have an event like this, we should all approach such events in the spirit of collaboration to bring peace to our region. And this is unfortunate that South Asia, which I normally call is the house of all the uneducated, unhealthy, unfinanced, or whatever you may say. We have one of the highest poverties in the world. So therefore, it is imperative for South Asia as a region to think of collaboration rather than conflicts. Because conflicts do not bring dividends for anyone. And we have so much to gain through regional cooperation. If you look at the world around, every region is integrating and also getting the fruits of integration. South Asia happens to be the least integrated region in the world today. And therefore, it is, I think, test of the leadership of this region that whether they can show the vision, foresight to tackle these tough challenges and the tough issues which are obstacles in peace in this region. They can all be solved through dialogue. But if we are not talking, then we cannot solve any problem. I think that is the first and the basic principle of diplomacy, that countries should be at least speaking to each other. But if we show attitudes to each other, then I don't think that that hurts anyone except the whole region. No one is the winner. The region as a region loses in this.
Sir, is that spirit will Pakistan propose a bilateral meeting with Jaishankar tomorrow?
Well, it depends because we are the hosts. Yeah. We cannot propose. We have to go by the guests. If the guests want a bilateral meeting, we will certainly be too happy. But as hosts, we cannot really, press upon anyone whether they want bilateral meeting or not.
So your foreign minister earlier talked about restoration of trade ties with India, and he saw that could be one of the low-lying fruits that could be harvested. Is there a possibility of that?
You see, the first thing is that the countries should accept that I think we need to go back to the spirit of Lahore Declaration. That was the high point between leaderships of both countries, which was achieved by Mr. Nawaz Sharif and Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. I think that is the spirit for both countries to move forward, and if we go to the spirit of Lahore Declaration, I think there is no problem that we cannot solve together.
Do you think the road links and the rail links, that's something that Pakistan had snapped in 2019. Do you think the Samjhauta Express and the road links between the two, the bus, is something that Pakistan will consider restoring now?
It is all tied to bilateralism. You see, no one can do things unilaterally. There has to be reciprocity. And if both Pakistan and India can talk to each other and start a process of dialogue, as I said, in the spirit of Lahore Declaration. Lahore Declaration really was an opportunity for both countries to move forward. Unfortunately, the events did not favor Lahore Declaration later on, but I think still we need to go back to that basis.
Mr. Sharif has said actually that it was after the Lahore Declaration, it was Pakistan's fault what followed with the Kargil war. Do you think in that spirit, given the fact that Mr. Jaishankar has now come to Pakistan?
If we point fingers, both countries have enough ammunition to point fingers at each other. And therefore, I think we need to move beyond pointing fingers. And we need to think in terms of the more than 1.5 billion people who live in this region. What is their future? Whether they are destined to live in conflicts, whether they are destined to live in poverty, or they have to also get benefits of regional integration and regional cooperation. Look at SAARC. SAARC is dysfunctional. European Union is not dysfunctional. GCC is not dysfunctional. ASEAN is not dysfunctional. SAARC just happens to be dysfunctional. And I always say to my Indian friends, if India only had 1/4 the heart of its geography, there would be no problem.
Just one
Thank you.
question.
Thank you.
Just one question.
Thank you.
The Prime Minister briefly spoke with Dr. Jaishankar. Any idea
Well,
what
I
the
was not there. I was not
But
there.
you would not know what the conversation was about? All right. Thank you.